Hello everyone, welcome back to the PHP course. In this lecture, we will be looking at PHP functions. The objective of this lecture is to learn how to define and call functions in PHP, understand function parameters, return values, and variable length argument list. Explore anonymous functions. So what are functions? So functions are reusable blocks of code that performs a specific task. They help organize code, improve readability, and reduce redundancy. We'll begin looking at how we can define a function. So we define a function using the keyword function. Functions can include parameters and return values, but they are optional. So let's have a look at an example of a function. So this is a function, greetings. Notice the keyword function. So this is a function greeting. So we can call this function just by writing the function name, greetings, followed by the parentheses. So if we save this and we run on our browser, so we are getting hello world. So hello world is an echo inside our greetings function. So let's look at parameters in function. So function parameters allow you to pass data into a function for processing. They are declared within the parentheses of the function definition. So right here is where we declare the parameters. So we can have a parameter name. Then we can say hello name. So if we have a parameter, then we should include the value of this parameter on our greetings function. So we can include the value as John. So if we save this, we'll get hello John. So let's run our browser. There we go, we have hello John. So we can set a default parameter. Let's say we have name equal to guest. So if we have a default parameter and we don't set our parameter right here, automatically it's going to take guest as our name. So let's save this. So we'll get hello guest. But if we come here and include a parameter value, let's say Paul, we should get hello Paul. So in case we don't set a default value for the parameter and we just come here and define and we just call the function without the parameter, we will be getting an error. So let's run the function. So we are getting an error that because we have not included a parameter, and this specific function expects a parameter. So let's just include a default parameter to avoid those errors. So now let's look at an example of a function that has two parameters. So I'm going to add another function right above this. So we have a function. So this function adds numbers. So it adds two numbers, and we have variable a and b as parameters that have been passed in this. So it should be returning a value that is as a result of adding a and b. So let's call this function down here, add numbers. Then we have to include the parameters. So you can include the parameters as 20 and 30. So this is going to add 20 and 30. So let's echo this. So we should expect 50 as our answer. So there we go, we have 50 as our answer. We can also have another example right on top here. So this one is going to multiply a and b and return a value of the multiplication of a and b. So we can echo return value right here. So the function is multiply. So we can multiply 2 and 3. So we should expect 6 as the answer. we can add some line breaks right here and here. So let's save and run our script. So we are getting 6 as the return value after multiplying 3 and 2. So we can also include the data type that we are expecting for better code clarity and error detection. So we can include that we are expecting an integer type. So this should still work. So we should get 6 when we echo the multiply function. So we are getting a 6, but in this we are being specific also on the type of integer we are expecting. So let's look at another example of a function. So we have this function that has the 3 dots operator. So this allows us to accept a variable number of arguments in our parameter. So this can be like an array. So it's going to sum all the numbers that we're going to pass as parameters when we call the sum function. So let's call the sum function down here. Let's echo, because we are expecting a value to be returned, sum. Then we can have multiple list of numbers. So it can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10. So it's going to sum all of this and return the value. So let's save this and let's refresh our browser. So we are getting the sum of all the numbers that we passed as the parameters, that is 42. So let's just add a line break here so that it can be clear. So we can separate the value being returned by the multiply function and sum. So let's refresh our browser. So you can see this is the value that is returned from the addition of the value parameters that we just passed right here. So we also have anonymous functions, which is also known as closures. So these are functions without a name. They are often used as callback functions or assigned to a variable. So this is an example of an anonymous function that has been assigned to variable, say hello. If we need to access that function, we can echo the say hello variable. Then of course we'll add the parentheses together with the parameter. So you can say Paul. So if I run this, I should get hello Paul. So I can add a line break here. So let me refresh. So I'm getting hello Paul. Functions are a fundamental part of PHP programming, and by understanding this function, you can write modular, reusable, and efficient code. So thank you. See you into our next video lecture.